watching her. It's probably about ready, huh?
Okay, bless it real quick.
Father in heaven, we ask thee to bless this food, that it will give us the nourishment and strength, that we will learn how to do what Donna's teaching us and be able to do it in our homes. And we say these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Okay, go, take it away.
Okay. Well, I'm going to hurry and start, and then we'll talk about the rest. It's so nice to see all of you. I recognize so many of you. And some good old friends, some new friends. Okay, the first thing you do is you take a cup of water and put it in your pan, and you put in a cube of butter, which is a half a cup of butter, and then you bring it to boil. And it looks just like that. And then let me make sure, it says unsalted butter. I've used unsalted or salted. It doesn't really matter. I figure eggs, anything that has eggs needs a little salt. I've got my water. Okay, and it's brought to a boil. And then you just dump in your cup of flour. And I'll tell you the story about the baking powder. I put baking powder in it. And you just stir, 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 stir. That's all you do is stir, stir. And that's all there is to it. And then you take it off your heat for just a little bit, because you don't want to scramble your eggs when you put them in. So I'll come over, I'll show you this on, okay. Oh, and you know what? My mom always taught me to break into a bowl because you don't want that one bad egg, right? So break in, make sure you don't have any shells, put an egg in, and you just beat the heck out of it. But you do them one at a time, and you beat in between each one, right? You can see it's glossy at first.
Can you tip the pot for us? Yeah, we should be over there, shouldn't we?
Yeah, I thought about that. What was my train of thought? Let's see. After it's not glossy anymore, then you know pretty much. Oh, you're gonna get me. You are so handy. Yeah. Why don't you come to my house? Where were you when I needed you?
At home, disciplining my children.
You can come and discipline my husband and all my grandkids I had this weekend. That's 2. Okay, and 3. And I'll tell you, I didn't know why she asked me to do this class, and then I remembered she knows when you write down what classes you've taught, right? And so I'm no expert. This is just my mom's recipe, and I've done it for years. So you can see it's getting a little bit whiter, or lighter, and that's for eggs. Anybody want to come up and whip?
Are you done with eggs?
I'm done with the eggs. Okay. Now the story about the baking powder is, after she asked me to do it, I made a bunch of them, and they didn't work. I mean, I made 4 batches of cream puffs, and they didn't work. And I was ready to say, I can't be the one in baking, showing them how to bake. Anyway, you can see it's not glistening anymore, and so that's about when you beat it just about enough. And I was taught to always use a wooden spoon, so that's what I had done. And then I started using this whip, and you know, I like it a lot better. And it works a lot better. And if any of you want to chime in and tell me what I'm doing wrong, because I always can take hints. I have a spatula.
Are you going to put your vanilla in?
Well, thank you for bringing that up. Because half the time I forget it. I don't think it matters. But how much do we need? Okay, because you've got whipping cream and pudding and all that. But the only thing is, it's okay then if you forget it when you want to make cream puffs with. Oh, maybe that's strong.
Use the spoon.
Thank you.
Or do you want to use this whip?
These cream puffs are delicious stuffed with chicken salad. So it won't matter if you forget. So. Now I thought I had a spatula. I must have. Is that the only thing I forgot? Yes.
Well, aren't you supposed to whisk that and help pull some eggs the sides of the pan?
Well, yeah.
Just asking.
Maybe it's more or less. Usually when you put that flour in, it comes away from the side of the pan. And that's when, thank you. Okay, and so, all I do, and I used to do it, make swans, and I don't know how I ever did that. I was young. So I'm gonna make these a little bit bigger. The batch that I made in here is what I call medium sized. And they're probably more what you want.
So what?
Oh, let's see, these are, I'm gonna make these bigger. I'm sorry, what?
So you're using just a regular teaspoon?
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you're fancy and wanna use a bag and pipe them, you can make, actually these are gonna be, I won't make these gigantic because there's too many more of us. But my mom makes them so that they come out and fill that saucer.
Oh my goodness.
So, yeah, that's what my kids remember. Anyway, so this is all there is to it. And then you put it in the oven, 400-degree oven. Now, there's a secret about getting the steam out of them. And I like your haircut, that's cute.
Mine?
Yes,
Well, thank you.
yes, I like that. Anyway. We're starting this at 400 degrees. And in 15 minutes, a lot of recipes tell you to take it out of the oven and prick them with a toothpick or slice them. But you know that causes them to fall. And so I've just left mine in the oven and turned it down to 350. And then that seems to do better. So that's what we're gonna do today. So if I hurry and get all these on here, then we'll talk about the other recipes. Yeah, see, I'm not just pretty. Martha would have them absolutely
yes, I would.
accurate and perfect.
So do you need another sheet or are you
Nope.
just gonna squeeze
Nope.
them on there?
Yep, and you'll find when you do that, you have a cute little top that sits. We'll see
call it
that
a
one.
swan.
How that.
Yeah, we'll call it.
And I'm not one of those cooks on TV that only uses, that she'd throw that pan in the sink. You put a whole more cream puff in there. You gotta use a spatula, right?
Yeah.
So, anyway, so that's all there is to it. And if you do have a bag in that, it really is fun to make the churros or the, the long things. Or you can make your eclairs and stuff them. All right, let's put these in and see how her oven heat goes. I don't know if you have a convection ovens. We put 15 minutes in. But my convection oven works a lot better. I found it seems like it cooks them faster and more dry.
Do you use the same temperature when you use the convection?
Well, I tried to get that straight so I could tell you ladies, but I think I did it about the same.
Okay.
But it just made them so they weren't as gooey inside. So, okay, now we have a few things to talk about.
Did you, I'm sorry, but with the convection oven, is the temperature the same?
I'm sorry, what's that?
The convection oven, is it cooking the same time and the temperature?
Well, I did, but practice with your own oven. I was thinking, what? Yeah, every oven is different. But it just seemed like when I put them both in together, that it cooked them a little bit faster. So if you're worried, make it maybe just a little bit less to start with.
You mentioned altitude. That is legitimate, yes.
Now, what's that?
Altitude and humidity.
I know, it really does.
She's higher,
Storming outside.
she's higher altitude than we are here in Pocatello, so.
Mm,
Yep.
yeah. Okay, so if they don't turn out, that's what's the matter.
That's right.
That's right, find the altitude.
That's right.
Okay.
Exactly.
So last night I made 1,200 baby ones for my granddaughter's wedding.
Oh, my
Last
gosh.
night?
Yeah, about 4 or 5 years ago. And so they freeze. You just need lots of Tupperware. But I made these last night, and actually I don't mind them the next day because they're softer. Some days they're.
You just put wax paper between them?
No, I put paper towel on the bottom and they stack them. So they're what we're gonna fill today. I'm gonna let each one of you fill with whatever and however much you want. And I'll tell you the dessert or the pudding recipe. We talked about that for a little bit. These aren't all just perfect, but You know, everybody gets their own plate and they don't look at everybody else's plate. So if you're a perfectionist, you can't make them perfect, but I'm always more in a hurry.
So is that the size you would do if you wanted to do chicken salad?
Well, I actually did for her, I did even smaller so that they could just put it in their mouth. And, so this is more, this is the biggest warning, ladies and gentlemen. After you put your powdered sugar on and you put it in your mouth, don't breathe. That goes down your throat and you choke to death. I always warn everybody, be careful, be careful. Anyway, we're gonna let each one of you fill up and try these.
I have a question about your secret, hint.
Yes.
So you put it in the oven for 25 minutes, 400 degrees,
Oh, I thought it was 15. 15, okay.
and then down to 350 for 25 minutes, and you just leave them in the oven and that dries them out?
Well, not quite yet, but that's at the point where a lot of people would take them out, you know, and prick them with toothpicks to let that steam escape. But I've just cooked these like this and let them cool a bit, and then I slice them. Now, if you wanted to, you can put them back in the oven, and it kind of dries it. But we're always in a big hurry at my house, so if there's anything in there, I just kind of scoop that out, fill it with pudding, and yeah. So, but the bigger ones, you would want to make sure, I mean, you could slice the top off and put back in, and then they'd be drier. But do you have any tricks here?
Me?
Yeah, about drying them or
My
anything?
mom made cream puffs, I've only ever made them once, and that's what, but I was just gonna say, if they're that size with pudding, if I was doing it, I wouldn't cut the tops off, I just put the pudding in a piping bag and poke the
Oh, that's a
nozzle
great,
in and pipe.
that was a
Saves
good
you time.
idea.
Saves you could do it with your chicken salad or tuna salad, whatever, ham salad, if your little pieces of meat are small enough for your two.
Yes.
And if I were to do that, would that make my flat puff up because it's filled with stuff?
It should, if there's.
It's
My
just
cream
gonna-
puffs are always
I don't think
flat.
so.
I don't think it will. It's just
Why they're
gonna,
flat.
yeah.
Yeah.
Shoot.
But that's a good idea. It wouldn't be quite as sloppy.
She adds the baking powder too.
But and the does anybody ever heard of putting baking powder in? After I couldn't make these, I thought to myself, why are they small? And I thought, yeah, baking powder would make them raise, right? And I looked on my mother's trusty recipe, no baking powder. I said, Mom, what am I doing wrong? And I went into her original recipe and it had baking powder.
And you mixed it with the flour.
And so I just put it in with my flour and stir it in, and it seems to work.
Well, that may have been because of the humidity, the snow and the weather that we've got right now.
Yeah, that's true too. There's a lot of differences, but I haven't found any that I've made, even when they were flat, they got eaten.
If you smash them and call them something else,
Yes.
yeah.
Holders.
Okay.
Baked holders.
Years ago, some of you may have still been here, we learned in this kitchen how to test your baking powder. Do y'all know how to test your baking powder and baking soda? It said in Google that that's only good for 6 months, and I've got some in my cupboard I think I probably had for, a long time. So you can take a cup of really, really hot water, and a fourth a teaspoon hot water, and 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Or if you want to save your what you have, you could go 1/3 of a cup and 1 teaspoon of baking powder, and you put it in a container. In fact, I should probably test mine so you guys can see if how good my baking powder is. But you can do that with baking soda and baking powder, and if it really fizzes and dissolves it, it's still good. So isn't that interesting? And did you know you can make your own baking powder?
Yes.
And how do you do yours? Do you use vinegar or what do you use?
Baking
Tartar.
Oh.
Yeah, to
No,
make baking powder.
I've got it on the recipe card, I have to pull the card out, I can see.
So how much hot water?
A cup.
Okay, a cup of,
We can.
we're gonna do.
We'll splurge. We'll do a cup and we'll do
Okay.
2 teaspoons of baking soda.
Okay, so how do you make your own baking powder?
How do you make your
Okay.
own?
Now it may fizz. You might want to. Okay, just put 1/3 of a cup of water, and then it won't fizz out over that bowl. And we'll just see how good this. Oh, and then does it have an expiration date? I didn't look.
I'm curious, that's why
Is it on the bottom?
July of 21, so it's not that bad.
Okay, this will be a good test.
Yeah, good test.
Mine's probably older.
1821.
Okay.
And how, 2 teaspoons.
No, well,
One
excuse me. Yeah.
One
No,
teaspoon?
we're gonna do the third of a cup, so we're only gonna do 1 teaspoon.
1 teaspoon.
Oh, a third of a cup of
So
water.
let's
She's
see
doing
if it
less just to
fits.
see if it works.
Okay, here we go.
All right, it's supposed to go. And that same way with your, oh, it's fizzing. It's fizzing. Anyway, it's supposed to all disappear.
Okay.
I thought, and you know, when you make your own self-rising flour, all you do is add baking powder and a little, what is it? Salt or whatever. So that's a good trick, ladies, if you ever find yourself without baking powder. And to make your own. Okay, there's 2 or 3 different ways that you can add. You have to add acid to it. So you can use white vinegar. You can use. Some people use lemon juice. Some people even use cream of tartar. I'm not a chemist, so I don't understand that. But let's see, where's the? Okay, for 1 teaspoon of baking powder, and of course you can make a bunch of this up. You can do 1/4 of a teaspoon of baking soda, and 1/2 teaspoon of white vinegar or lemon juice. So.
Or cream of tartar.
And I think that would be, and then some people even have cornstarch. I've seen that cornstarch.
It just keeps it from popping.
Oh, is that what it is?
So how much lemon juice, sorry, I got, how much lemon juice, please?
Half a teaspoon.
Mhm.
Half a teaspoon.
And this one says 1/4 of a teaspoon of baking soda and 1/2 a teaspoon of cream of tartar is another.
Can
So-
you read that on the table so we can take a picture
Sure.
of it or something?
Sure.
I don't write that. I don't write that.
Okay, so now, I want to talk about this. Have any of you been to Gosner's lately, or have you ever bought in Gosner's? Isn't it wonderful?
I was there the same day you were.
Pardon me?
I was there the same day you were.
Were you? And I must
You were
not see
going
you.
out and I was clear across.
Oh, okay. I was talking to a guy from Twilla, and he had 3 pallets of the milk.
I seen
I mean, they're going crazy down there. They used to sell this in an 8 ounce, which
Right.
was perfect for our side. They don't have it, and they don't know when they're
Really?
gonna get it. But I've kept this, and they say only 6 months, but I know I've had it for a year on my cover. You always want, if you get it, just keep one in your fridge, and it's all ready to whip up. So, I
It's
really
shelf-stable milk.
recommend
Oh,
it.
is
It's
that
shelf
what it is?
stable. Mhm.
Oh, okay.
And,
Ah, I didn't know that.
something else I didn't know, she told me that when you get the quarts, you're supposed to pour it all out and whip it all at once, which I didn't know. I've poured it out before and just whipped it up and used sugar. But also what I've done is whip it up and then put it in dollops on,
Oh, yeah.
you know, and then freeze it, and then you have it ready for your
Oh,
desserts.
really?
And she told me that some of the ladies that got this that couldn't use it were whipping it up and putting it in the Cool Whip tubs. So,
Good idea.
I really recommend food storage. I really recommend getting what you can now. So if any of you go to Gosner's,
Does anybody sell it here?
no,
Okay.
and it
You know,
costs
they do
double.
have some,
Pardon me?
They have some at the food storage by the dollar store in Idaho Falls.
Do they? How
Really?
wonderful. Well, that's
Yeah,
good
they
to know.
carry that.
Oh, but you
Okay.
gotta go to Costco's because you gotta buy cheese curds.
Oh yeah, and their coconut ice cream.
And the ice cream.
Yeah, but it's gotta be hard. You don't want a day when it's soft.
So Gosner's where?
It's outside of Logan, about on 17th. It's out past the
It's
airport and goes
1,000.
straight
But there's
down.
one in Burley too that's closer.
Okay, there's one in Burley and there's one in
There
Logan.
is.
Oh.
The one in Burnley's just right on the highway, the one in Logan's on.
Do they sell
1,000
stuff
and
in
10,000.
Burley? Cause I'm gonna be going
I
there.
don't know.
Definitely take
I don't
that
know if I go
exit,
to-
and it's the first one that goes across the river, it's right on the right hand side.
Really?
Really?
Thank
They
you.
have all that stuff.
I'm glad to know it, because you know what, if you try to ship this to you, it costs just as much for shipping as it
Yeah.
does
Oh, yeah.
for the
Oh,
mail.
So
yeah.
it would.
So, anyway,
Yeah, we
that's,
can, Donna, we can stock up in October.
Yes.
yes, we can, that's a good idea, we'll hope they still have some. I'm getting really
What's
nervous.
in October? You ladies.
We go to Burley.
Oh,
Doesn't everybody go to Burley in October?
I know, you go to the quilting?
Oh, okay, okay.
I use these sheets, I bought these sheets, which I like, and I like 2 sheets when I do my cream puffs, because then you get so much butter in it, and then it doesn't get your pan at all bad.
And where did you get that?
Well, I ordered it online,
You can get them at Costco.
in a thing like this, good, because actually, the other size, you know, I can either use this double or cut it in half. I was kind of asleep the night I ordered it. It's called parchment sheets.
Kind of asleep.
Yeah, one of those midnight things. Anyway, let's see. I better put this. Well, okay. What else did I want to talk about? I guess that's all. Oh, let's talk about the recipe.
Have you made your whipped cream and,
Oh, of course.
so
It's
it's
all
all ready,
ready to go.
so they can come and,
Yeah, we're gonna have you sample it, but then I wanna talk about the recipe. See if you like this, because I've always added cream cheese to my vanilla puddings, and it makes it just delicious when I make it with powdered sugar. But this recipe from the girl was, as it reads, don't use, cook and serve. You have to use the instant, so you can tell me if you like it or not. But this is how much it makes.
Yum.
And so that would be a lot. And then, if you don't like,
That's the recipe that's on the paper?
Yes.
Lemon cream cheese pudding?
and if you don't like lemon, you can have, this is just vanilla. Oh, wow, we might need some milk. This is thick lemon, vanilla. Huh, that cooked well. Okay, you're welcome to eat vanilla if you don't want the lemon. And so put a little bit in and have a saucer. I don't have to show you how to plate. Actually, I just fill the top with whipping cream and the bottom with pudding, or you can do vice versa. I'll open this up and put that on. How many of you still have an old shaker like this from
I've never
Tupperware?
seen it.
Haven't you? This has gone through a lot of stuff. Yeah, anyway,
Well, they're doing vintage right
it
now.
goes like this, and then you on the top here. Or you can take a strainer
Yeah.
with your powdered sugar and go like that.
That's what I.
But that's what
You can use
all
a sifter
that.
too.
So you're welcome to try to put powdered sugar on if you want. And then I'll get this whipping cream. And I brought in just a little extra because okay. Do you want me to fix these for you and serve? Because I'm used to doing that. Or do y'all want to come up and fix what you only want?
You can, I can do the way you did them.
Oh, shoot. We can.
So you didn't make the gossamer whipped cream?
No, I didn't. I can whip some up.
Donna!
Well, I didn't.
Donna!
That was bad, wasn't it? All right, get out. You know what I would say? Get out your whipping cream. I mean, your whippers. But this really needs to be in your fridge cold.
Oh, okay.
Or it's
We will
really
whip.
bad, so.
Yeah.
But y'all can come back in an hour or two, go out and shop and, you know. I actually didn't even think because I'd already bought the whipped cream. I'll fill up a couple of these. Well, I'll do them all with this. And some of these. Yes, you come in. Then aren't you this Thursday one? Maybe that's not early.
Okay, what did you want?
Okay, do you want to make it snow?
Dairy.
We just need to go outside.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Pretty.
Alright. Oh, let's see, do we need forks?
Yeah.
Unless they want to eat like my family and just eat it with their fingers. Yes, we can give you forks, ladies. So that's all there is. That's all there is.
Here you go, ma'am.
Thank you, dear. I was hoping you.
Is there anyone that for sure does not
Okay,
want
you
lemon?
can put your snow on.
Well, definitely.
Everyone wants lemon? Okay.
Okay, if you wanna do that, I will pass them out.
Okay, perfect.
Okay,
Sure.
Oh, yes, I see you.
Well,
Yeah.
pretty hard.
There we go.
So how long do you have to wait before you can breathe again?
So,
For you?
Don't.
that's clean.
Did that come up on the camera?
Yeah, and I wrote it down, so I'll put it.
Oh,
What did they?
I guess somebody turned my oven down, didn't they? You're so good.
Well, I'm just director traffic. Karen actually turned it down.
I'm gonna call you on the next party, I think.
Well, I'll be in town in a couple days.
Okay. Anyway,
What did Tupperware use that for? Was that a salt shaker?
no, it was actually